Apparently it's on repeat. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the Korner Booth podcast. I am your host, Jared Clem, alongside the rest of the crew today. We got two very happy Yankees fans right below me today, as well as Hood Nate. I guess we're gonna call him today because dude's already been on a tear recently. So I'm just waiting him for just completely go all unhinged at this point. We'll get to why Nate would be unhinged in about maybe it's a half hour. I'll start off with congratulations. I witnessed the entire game of Yankees versus Guardians games 5. Congratulations, Dom and Matt. Juan Soto's home run was electric factory to the T. Stanton's home run was pretty cool as well. Probably the first Yankees game I've watched all year, besides when they played Arizona. And congratulations, boys. Now do America a solid and don't let the Dodgers win a damn World Series, please.
My TikTok algorithm is filled with just Juan Soto's home run, just like on replay. Like I could go 5-6 videos in a row and it's just all different people's reactions. It's amazing. I watched probably 35 minutes worth of Juan Soto TikToks in the last 3 days.
Mine, the last 24 hours, has been nothing but Saquon Barkley and Saquon Barkley and Saquon Barkley. I'm not, and this is even my doing. That's all it's been popular. Oh, and this is also another reason why me and Chris hate local Eagles media. It's the Eagles only podcasters that suck. These guys who think they're rocket scientists with some of these ridiculous theories about, they still play like crap. We beat them 28-3. We had 8 sacks. Shut up. That was my reaction when I saw that video this morning. I was ready to.
So this is your TikTok feed that's filled with Eagle stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, mine's filled with Japanese girls, but we won't get into that.
In the box, we're starting. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I was gonna say, Nate. At this rate, you're taking over for Chrissy in the penalty box. We're gonna start calling it Nate's only penalty box.
I'm just glad Dom's here, man. I'm 2 versus 2 right now until Chris gets here.
Oh, the Asian invasion going on.
We're really doing this early? Okay, fine. We're gonna get into it early. Nate, not Chris's penalty box, is presented by the amazing people at where it just fell in jerky. Promo code Belly 15% off. Some of the best tasting beef jerky you can buy right now. You can get it now at Stop and Shop. You can get it at gas stations. ShopRite, I believe, carries it now. I've seen it a couple.
Really?
Outlets. Yeah. So check them out right now. But use our promo code. You get 15% off at checkout, and then you can ship whatever personalized box you want. Matt did it. He loved it. He went through the box in 24 hours?
Yeah. 3 bags, 24 hours.
I did 5 in a weekend. So, yeah, pretty close. Check them out right now. A special sponsor of Belly Up Sports, the Korner Booth podcast, and Nate, not Chris's penalty box.
Oh, maybe I'll be a righteous felon for Halloween.
There you go. We can bring it back, you animal.
Cool.
I think Nate puts it. We're gonna start calling a hoodie Nate because he's like Bill Belichick. He just gets more attitude when he flips his hood up.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing to smile about in this life.
Dude, enough with the yellow darkness, my old friend BS. All right, you're breathing. Life can be warm.
That was my light.
I was gonna say, did my light go out?
Nope, my light I don't know why it fell over, but it did.
Oh my god! All right,
no,
well, boys. So I don't know how y'all weekend was. I texted you guys in the group chat about how much of a personal hell I was in on Saturday. I'm playing 18, ripping cigars, drinking beers, trying to play golf against guys who actually play golf weekly or bi-weekly, and I'm getting smoked. One kid who actually won the junior PGA tournament longest drive competition, that was one of the guys in my foursome I was playing with. It's my uncle's best friend's kid, 18 years old, nicest kid in the world. But I texted you guys. I was like, guys, I'm literally trying not to check the score every 5 minutes. And, of course, somebody's trying to call me during the damn show. Leave me alone. And I'm literally just on my backswing, swing. All right, check score, go to the cart. And when Louisville was neck and neck with them, every other score, I was actually starting to really get stressed out. And I was missing drives left and right. I was getting extra loopy on the course. And finally, it gets to when they forced the turnover. They got up 2 scores with 4 minutes left or 2 minutes left, whatever it was. I was like, celebrate. I was like, yes, we won. I'm tired of this. This is killing me right now. 3 straight games where the one possession game down to the final buzzer. But you know what? I'm not going to complain. There are some less fortunate folks out there whose teams are not undefeated still. So I will just relax. But then I went and played softball yesterday for the first time in 4 years. That was fun. Went 3 for 3. Actually, had an infield single because I realized I was actually quick enough to do that. And then pulled my hip trying to chase down a fly ball and laid out for it and did my big man belly roll trying to get the ball and pull the hip flexor. So, yeah, that's how my day started today. But good weekend because then I had to watch Eagles-Giants in my car because I was stuck driving in traffic for 2.5 hours coming home from New Jersey. It's like an hour and a half drive because of all the Leaf watchers. Literally the scum of the earth. I hate Leaf watchers. It's the same crap every year. If I have to go anywhere on a Sunday in October, I might as well just add an extra 20 minutes for traffic to 40 minutes. And I was just white knuckle driving the entire way back because I was just ready to scream. But I got home. Eagles won. Canes won. We got a good show today. Got a Monday night doubleheader tonight. Hopefully, I have a team that actually don't mind rooting against the Dodgers for, so that's fine. Honestly, when it comes to teams I despise in the MLB, Yankees aren't even close to the top of that list, so go Yanks for the next week and a half. So you guys got my blessing, because God, if the Dodgers win, it's the end of times. But yeah, whew. All right, I'm done killing time. Dom, how you feeling about your Yanks right now? What's the vibes? You're on mute, buddy. Tap your mic.
I wonder if it's red again.
No, I mean, I can hear Nate.
You might have to go to.
Am I good?
Yeah, let's go.
I said something earlier. I was like, oh, maybe they just talked over. I didn't even realize it was on red. But it's so nice going on social media and everyone's for your team. Everything's awesome. Like I'm a Giants Yankees fan, so every time I go on, you know how critical New York fans are. So it's never anything happy. It's never anything good. Nothing's ever good enough. But it feels so good to see Juan. And that was the greatest at bat I think I've ever seen in my entire life. That was just fouling off pitches. Him nodding to Gaddis. It was everything you ever wanted. It was cinematic the way it all happened. I'm excited. I don't know about you, Matt, but I'm nervous. I know that I think we face better against Dodger pitching, but that offense is ridiculous. We don't have the strong staff. Our bullpen stepped up, but still these guys aren't, established pitchers. I'm a little nervous. I don't know how it's gonna go, but I'm excited.
Yeah, that was just what an at bat that was. I mean, so I don't know if anybody is familiar with this guy on TikTok. It's a Phillies fan, and he always streams it. His name's like Tiny Tino or something. And this man just always he was posting a bunch of just like obviously non-Met stuff because he's a Phillies fan when the Mets and Phillies are playing. And then he started going to the Yankees and the Dodgers, and obviously he's trashing the Yankees. He doesn't like the Yankees, and it's just he makes videos, and it's like right when Stanton hits his home run, he's like, all right, just go low and outside, just do it. He goes, wait, why are you setting up in the middle? What are you doing? All of a sudden, the meatball right over the middle, home run, and then he just goes crazy. It's great to watch. I love watching the demise of people that hate the Yankees, but I'm excited. Like I said, that was probably the best at bat I've ever seen from any Yankee in any recent time that I can think of. Stanton has been amazing. Stanton is like the best player in baseball right now in October. It's just insane. This man's hitting, I think he had like 4 or 5 home runs this series alone, I think. It's just he's been so clutch. It almost makes you forget that Judge is going to go, he's probably going to strike out 12, 15 times in the series. It makes you forget that. But Juan Soto and him have been carrying it. My fear is the Dodgers pitching, like Buehler, Yamamoto, Flaherty. And that offense. So I'm worried about falling back early on, not being able to get that lead. I'm very nervous about Rodon pitching to Ohtani, to Betts, to Muncy, to everybody on that lineup. I just not like the Guardians were one thing. I don't want to like discredit the Guardians. They were a very talented team. They deserve to be where they were. And they're doing it with a rookie head coach. And it was just very impressive the year that they had. But that lineup, the Royals lineup, the Orioles lineup, nothing compares to the Dodgers. They just got so many heavy hitters. So I'm very nervous. I'm very excited to be at the first World Series appearance in 15 years, but I'm very nervous. Just with the Dodgers, this could go 7 games, and I don't know how it's going to go. But I'm praying for the team.
As an outside perspective and somebody who despises the LA Dodgers with every ounce of his being, like I said, Matt, who are the 3 franchises or colleges that I despise more than life itself? You know them. You know the 3. It's pretty easy.
Oh, it's the Dodgers, the Dallas Cowboys,
Knows how to use the
and
middle.
the other one was the other one's college.
Duke.
Is it? Yeah.
What's the jersey behind me, dude? Florida State.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I couldn't remember it.
Oh my god, I was getting annoyed losing to them in my Road to Glory last night playing that. I was getting irritated. I hate that damn song. Like, I want to curb stomp them. I wanted to put a staple through that program's head since 2022 when they ran the score up on us when our team was injured, destroyed, and honestly, that was when Manny Diaz should have been just thrown off the edge of the abyss. Anyway, yeah, I just my dislike for Florida State is ever growing. Whereas, like with Clemson, I just start to pity them because Dabo's a moron. Duke, it kind of goes in now because I have a lot of respect for Coach K, and some of my favorite ball players in the NBA have come out of Duke. So it's like, as much as I hate them around March Madness, it's kind of like, they just do it to themselves. But yeah, no, Florida State definitely takes the cake when it comes to that. I didn't mean to hijack the conversation, but for an outside perspective with this World Series, I just really, really, really worry about you guys' bullpen. I love it. Former Diamondback Luke Weaver is like one of your ace guys in the bullpen. It cracks me up. I
think
love
stats wise, I think he's been the best closer in baseball in the last like 2 months.
Yeah, who'd you guys pick him up from? Was it St. Louis?
I think so.
Yeah, because we traded him in one of our big pick swaps or draft, whatever it was, for a big suit name superstar. Anyway, I think he's in the Suarez trade. Who cares at this point? Anyway, love Luke Weaver. Love to see him succeeding. Love that he's actually in the bullpen. Honestly, I think it's the best spot for him. If you guys can stay hot and produce runs, the biggest problem with the Dodgers, you're the only team who can probably hit with the Dodgers. I just worry about what your pitching staff will do. But then again, we saw the Diamondbacks basically make it within 3 individual outs in a lack of hits in Game 5 of winning the World Series last year. So, yeah, there's a possibility. You guys are fine. I honestly think the Dodgers, this is the weakest Dodgers team I've ever seen make the World Series or come close to it. I don't care about Ohtani. I think it's great. He's an amazing hitter, top 5 hitter maybe of the last 2 decades. But one thing I've learned in the World Series is it does not matter who's in your lineup. It matters situational hitting, coaching, ability to deliver. Because last time I checked, when the last time the Yankees won the World Series, Matsui was MVP, not A-Rod, not Teixeira, not CC Sabathia. It just comes down to random stuff. So I think it's a 50-50 coin flip. I am totally pulling for the Yankees right now. You want my honest God opinion? Yankees in 6. That's my prediction right there. And I will happily redo the show. If you guys were both going to the parade, I'd happily move the show a day so you guys can go enjoy yourself. Because remember,
from an outside perspective, this has to be equivalent to like a Cowboys Patriots Super Bowl. For a lot of people.
No, because I hate the Patriots. It'd be like Cowboys Chiefs, or like Cowboys Titans, or
Titans.
Cowboys Bengals, or Cowboys Steelers. Like, it's like,
I'm just thinking more. Everybody hates the Yankees. Everybody hates the Dodgers, and everybody probably wishes this could end in a tie, but it can't. I'd love to finish it at home, but there's no way we go 4-1 against them. There's just no absolute way. It's not impossible, but it's not going to happen.
Listen, for all I know, I watched the Red Sox sweep a loaded Cardinals team in 2004.
That's fair.
Anything's possible. All right. Listen, if it wasn't for a Corey Seager home run and nobody getting hit when Zach Gallen threw a no-hitter, Diamondbacks would have been up 3-0 going into Texas, coming back to Arizona.
I think one of the most underrated players on this Yankees roster right now, and he's not hitting the ball out of the park, but he just gets on base. It's Gleyber Torres. I mean, if it wasn't for Gleyber Torres, all these 2-3 run home runs wouldn't really be happening because he wouldn't be on base to account for one of those runs. He has just been, ever since he took over at leadoff, which it really bothers me because I don't know if I want Gleyber back. Like, the way he's been hitting leadoff, like, yes, sign me up. He's got like a 300 average. He's doing great. He's on base, whether it's a hit, whether it's a walk. He just always gets on base. His on base percentage has been great since he's been leadoff. But it's just like, do you want to roll that dice? After what we've been watching for the last 4 years from him, do we really want to roll that dice? Give him like 5-7 years or however long it's going to be, and just hope that this just stays. That's my biggest thing. But that's something I'll worry about afterwards.
I don't think it's possible because our main target's obviously Juan Soto. It's hard to sit. Gleyber's been a top 5 hitting second baseman for the last 5-6 years. He didn't live up to the potential that we saw he was going to be in after that COVID year when he hit like 39 home runs. But I honestly think it's just better off for both parties. I think Gleyber should move somewhere else. I think the Yankees should move on. The first half of this Yankee season was abysmal. A lot of errors. And he really started picking up. He saved that contract. He's going to get that big money just because of that second half. He really saved himself. But I think it's just better off to go separate ways for both parties. I think Gleyber's going to do great somewhere else.
And I think a lot of people forget, too, is, let's say he walks. Even if, we win the World Series, he still continues to perform well. If he walks, which I'm sure we'll focus on Soto, that's going to be like a $700 million contract if we or whoever gives him it. Garrett Cole may or may not opt out. I don't know. I hope not, but he has that option to do so. But Gleyber Torres going somewhere else, not the end of the world. I think a lot of people forget Jazz Chisholm is a natural born, came up as a second baseman. He's been playing well defensively at third base. But it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility to throw him at second and go pick up a third baseman at free agency, or keep him at third, pick up whatever you want to do. Either way, he can fill the void of Gleyber Torres. You just got to fill the other side of the ball.
So to be saying this is like 2009 all over again. This may be the last year of this unit, so you better go out and swing for it.
Yeah, no, this is the last. The baby bombers that was supposed to be, Sanchez and Bird and Judge and Gleyber and Andujar, and all you have left is Torres and Judge. This is the last chance for this unit, this core of a unit, to get that ring. And I really have concern, if we don't get it this time around, I'm not saying we can't go back next year, but Judge isn't going to get any younger.
You had a bunch of teams that are built to beat your style, were either knocked out in the first round of the NL or didn't even make the playoffs. So you guys have a tailor-made schedule, which you guys got in. You guys beat the teams you're supposed to. You guys play good baseball. Now you play a team you can beat. Yes, this is it. There's never going to be a better shot than this, especially with the team you have. So best of luck to your Yankees. I have them winning in 6. That is my stone cold, not lock, but that's my stone cold bet. When I usually say stone cold lock, usually a death sentence for wins. Anyway, joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is the 5th member of our merry band. He is a self-prescribed comedian out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He has 1,000 nicknames, and he loves all the teams that come out of that great city, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Lipoff.
Yo, what up? What up?
Nate's out here pulling the trigger as I'm pulling the trigger. What's up, buddy?
Oh, no. I thought you were talking Nate for a second. Damn, I got.
What did I do? I didn't do anything.
I'm just laughing because Chris is just out here just chewing. He's just going to town on food.
Yeah, dude. I had like a light lunch. Like a whole bag of goldfish to make up for it.
How is everything?
I love it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
We'll talk about you employed weirdos later. Let's get the show kicked on the road. Unemployed for life, apparently. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Gentlemen, we did have a bunch of games that were actually very entertaining this NFL season, but there were this NFL week, but there were a couple that obviously were not great. We'll start off last night. Maddie, I'll let you rip off the Band-Aid in a second. For those of you who live under a rock, Devontae Adams' debut with the New York Jets. They actually got up to a 15-13 lead at half, and then the Jets just stopped scoring. and the Steelers started scoring. Final score, I believe, 37-13?
15.
37-15. So, Danger Chef Russ is back. Apparently, that's my sentence for today. Russell Wilson actually looked not terrible. I mean, he underthrew a couple balls to George Pickens, not act like he played exceptional there, but it was an entertaining game to watch. I believe he finished with a passer rating of over 55, which honestly is better than his days over at over in Denver. Final tally for Russell Wilson, 16 for 29, so above 50%. Like I said, 264 for 2 touchdowns. George Pickens, 5 through the air for 111. Najee Harris, second straight 100-yard game on the ground, 21 for 102. It's really bad when the Jets' best receiver in this game was Breece Hall. He was also the leading rusher with only 38 yards. That to me tells the entire story. Also, Aaron Rodgers' ball control was abysmal. There were so many bad interceptions. I couldn't stop looking at them. But Matt, this is your team. I'll let you talk about it. What happened?
I think Damian Woody said it best. This is a team that has a great roster, but it's not. I got to find the exact one. It's pretty much saying they have a roster. They don't have a team. They've got a roster full of talent, but they don't have a team coming together to win games. They don't have anybody like, I don't know, where's the leader at? Like who is banding this team together right now? Because I just saw a team play competitive football for the first half of the game and just completely give up as soon as it was 16-15.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers threw that first interception to the rookie safety. It wasn't a bad look. The safety just got his one arm back, curled the ball in. It wasn't a terrible read. It was tight coverage. He slinged it into that window, but the safety just made a great play on that one. The second interception, I don't know what happened. If you look at that angle, it was a floater pass to Garrett Wilson. He had like 5-6 yards on the guy, and it just bounced right off his chest into the other guy's hands. That was just insane how you just don't catch that. He had a 5-yard window between both what am I trying to say? Both defenders, and just didn't come down with it. Bounced right off his chest. Second interception. It felt like this team just gave up. Like there's just no spark. You got Devontae Adams, great. 9 targets, 3 receptions, 30 yards. It just, you can see the age in Aaron Rodgers right now. He looks scattered in the pocket. Like I think he knows that the line isn't holding up as good as we all thought it was going to be, and he looks shook. Like the snap comes, if he can't get that ball out in a couple seconds, you just see him he's just like this. He's shaking. He just doesn't look comfortable. Doesn't look like he's trusting the protection. And some bad throws, some bad reads. It's not really all on him. I mean, that interception should never happen from Garrett Wilson. That was the turning point of this game. Now you got Hassan Reddick back, and you're 2-5, and there's really not a lot of, not for me. I'll just blatantly say it. I'm not giving up on this team, but my optimism was killed by like 85% yesterday. I mean, face the facts. You're 2-5. At
you should
best,
be at least 4-2 at the least. I mean, 4-2.
Yeah, but at best, with the AFC and the situation that's at right now, consider the AFC teams you've lost to already. You've lost to Denver. You've lost to Buffalo. You've lost to. You just lost to Steelers. Like you can't be losing to all these AFC teams that have better records than you right now. So at best, they're going to have to finish the year 8-2, go 10-7 minimum, to hope you squeeze into a wild card. Do you really think this team's going to go 8-2 over the? I mean, I know they have one of the easiest schedules they say remaining. But, like, I don't see anything about this team that's going to beat the Texans in 2 weeks. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised.
The skies are falling for you, but it doesn't look good.
No, but, like, do you think they're going to beat the Texans? Do you think they're going to beat the Seahawks later on? You think
the Texans looked abysmal yesterday throwing the football? We'll talk about that in a little bit. But
yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that this felt like an elimination game. It felt like the season once again is over by October, and I pray that I'm wrong. But I've been a fan of this team for 29 years. My first football game was the 2004 playoff game against the Colts. Like I've lived through the Peyton Manning, the Chad Pennington era, Lavernius Coles, Wayne Corbett, Curtis Martin, Santana Moss, like Jeremy Curley, Jericho Cotchery era. Like I've seen great seasons and I've seen terrible seasons, and this feels like we didn't get any better than last year, and we're loaded on both sides of the ball, and we're 2-5, and it's just I don't know what it's going to take. I know what it's going to take. It's going to take ownership change, but I don't know if that'll ever happen.
All right, Mr. Bucket Hat, you have anything to contribute on this?
Well, not much. Matty covered a lot of it. He's the Jets guru, Jets fan. Jets need help. Like a lot. It's not really Devontae Adams to fix. It's not. I mean, yeah, it's coaching.
It's almost crazy when you say like they need a lot of help when you consider like the talent on that roster.
There's coaching help and leadership, like you said. I guess that's the best way to.
I hate Aaron Rodgers. Like I'll be straight with you. Like I've always hated Aaron Rodgers. I think he has such a loser mentality when it comes to football teams. He gets coaches fired, and then he'll have like, I mean, I'll speak back to his Green Day years. He'll have like a good year, and then he'll be like a problem starter. Get traded. Now he's traded to the Jets. 39 years old, turning 40. Not getting any younger. He's not going to turn into like Aaron Rodgers from 5 years ago. So it's kind of like you got to find ways to win with what you got. And the problem with A-Rod is like, it's not that he doesn't have any more talent. It's just like you could definitely tell. I mean, the age, he's lost his step. He got hurt. He didn't play last year. So that shows a lot. Coming off like a season-ending injury at that age is as difficult as it is. So I do give him that benefit of the doubt, but it's not I don't know what the Jets need, because like it seems like it's kind of what the Eagles are sometimes. It's like 1 week it's the offense, 1 week it's the defense. So, and then it's the coaching. So Maddie, you probably know better than I do. I'm just, watching what I saw from last night. I didn't watch the whole game, but like I said, I'm just seeing what I saw. I wish the Jets were just in a better situation with a better quarterback, because believe me, I don't think Rodgers is the answer.
No, their biggest thing they need is run defenders. They just need a better run defense. I mean, once they got rid of John Franklin Myers and they got Hassan Reddick and they let Bryce Huff go and everything, that run defense just went to shit. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to say, it's kind of
that's fine. Remember, that's not the banned word. There's only like 3 words we can't say.
But listen, it comes down to, I mean, you could say coaching, and you're not wrong, but the ownership is just so bad. I mean, you look at the Commanders. The Commanders are in a lot better shape than I think a lot of us thought. And all it took was a nice little sale of the organization, and look what that's done. So
a quarterback, a good coach hire, but whatever.
Well, I didn't take into consideration like that. They have pretty good coaching staff, and I forgot how good Jaden Daniels is.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
but overall for me, it's embarrassing to say that the Jets need help, because like you said, we look at that loaded roster on both sides of the field, and the fact that they're 2-5, it's just utterly embarrassing to say that they're 2-5, but also that they need help. What else do you need?
Will flip this on its end, Dom, unless you have anything to say about the Jets. I was going to flip it to Pittsburgh. Russ, that offense looked a lot cleaner. I'm not saying it looked better. I'm saying it looked more efficient. If I'm sitting there as a play caller, I'm liking Russ makes everything smoother. The play action passing, the ball placement wasn't perfect. This was his first game with these guys. But I'm not going to lie. I watched the Steelers 3 weeks in a row because of primetime games, and whenever I was, happened to be watching the football, whatever game was on at that point. This offense looks a lot better last night. And Najee Harris, it also allows because Najee Harris was having a great game here for 100 yards, obviously. But it looked like Pickens was getting more involved. Van Jefferson. I have not heard that name since he was every team's fantasy sleeper in 2022, which he wasn't. But I was like, okay, so Pittsburgh can kind of move it a little bit. And with that defense, they become a viable AFC threat. Because let's be honest, besides Baltimore, Kansas City, and Houston took a loss last night. They couldn't pass against that mediocre Green Bay secondary. The AFC's still wide open, guys. So I don't know, Dom, you have anything about Pittsburgh? What did you think last night? Did you watch any of it?
I watched going back to Matt, like the Jets just up 15-6 as soon as the Steelers came back, they just looked deflated. It was 15-14 with such a roster like that. I was like, come on, it was sad to watch them play, but no, Pickens, man, he looked good out there. Wilson just throwing out there to the tight end, who's messing Fryermuth, just throwing it up to them. They look good. I agree. They look so much better, and give it a couple of weeks. That was his first time playing with these guys too. If you give it a couple of weeks,
I'm a little afraid that we have them in 3 weeks, and I'm like,
I want to say to you, Jared, it's more defense than offense. Believe it or
not.
not.
I know that. I know it's more defense than offense, but
I'll tell you what, I can read you the stats right now. I mean, the total offense is ranked 28, total defense ranked 8. They win, and I've been saying this for weeks with them. It's grit. They do. It's defensive football, and then when you get the offense to do the bare minimum, just gets the job done. Like, that's the reason why they were coming back against the Colts a few weeks ago. They couldn't win it because their defense just didn't have a good game. Like, all these wins with the Steelers is just defensive pickups.
At the end of the day, though, my point wasn't that the offense is so much better. It's that it looks smoother and it can improve. With Justin Fields, that ceiling is very low. There's only certain you can do with it. Yeah, I'm doing the DJ Pauly D right now. There's only certain amount you can go. With Russ, as much as he's still not 2013 Seahawks running the table on the back end of the season, Russell Wilson, he's more polished. He can deliver the ball on time. The offense looked cleaner. And it allows them to kind of have a little more freedom to score more points so the defense doesn't have to carry them. That offensive efficiency, Chris, is because of Justin Fields leading that offense. Watch that number continue to go down.
Yeah, I was going to say,
get in the lower 20s.
Like the next, I'll give it like a month because.
Yeah, listen, I'll happily go in here and say Chris is the smartest man on the planet, and be like, yeah, he was right, I was wrong.
I'm just speaking. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Your point is speaking. Your point's right. I'm just saying, watch this grow.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just speaking for like what the Steelers have been for like 5 years. Like they make any low mid-tier quarterback look okay, and then the defense just tears it up, dude. Because one of my best friends, who I'm going to his wedding this weekend, I'll be in Carolina. Leaving Friday, super stoked for it, but that's nor here nor there. He's a Steelers fan, diehard Steelers fan. It's always been, and that guy will tell you the quarterbacks they have now. Like, as much as like their memes, Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, if I'm going back 5 years and like I'm suffering through like the ages of like Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges, then like this is like the biggest step up you've had since Roethlisberger.
Well, also, let's be honest, Duck Hodges' one claim to fame is he's dating or engaged to Lainey Wilson. That's basically his best claim to fame. Now, also having an amazing name named
There's
Duck
always
Hodges.
that random like NFL player who's just like married to like well, not her, but I don't know, but like married.
You know that WWE wrestler Jade Cargill?
I don't.
She tag teams with Bianca Belair.
Never mind. I know you're talking about.
You know who I don't know if it's her boyfriend or her husband, but do you know who her partner is?
No.
Brandon Phillips, right?
Yeah, Brandon Phillips from the
Cincinnati
Reds or something. Dude, she looks like she could bench him. She definitely like puts him on her shoulders and just squats.
Let's have her on the podcast just to beat me up. And then just
all right. Speaking of beating people up, we got to talk about the other game that covers the other four people in this podcast. It was the title of our show on Thursday.
Damn, he just walks right in too.
I will give the Giants credit. Their defensive line fits the bill. Holy crap. I was blown away. On tape, the first couple series before the Eagles actually realized what the hell they were going to do, I was like, holy crap, they are just collapsing the line. It looked like kind of reminiscent of the 2007 pass rush that had Umenyiora, Tuck, Strahan. Umenyiora, Strahan, and like one other guy. I don't think Tuck was drafted yet. Anyway, but it looked like that O-line where they just had guys closing all the time. Oh, Kiwanuka, that's the one I couldn't think of. Anyway, but they had it was always pressure. And Dexter Lawrence is the best nose tackle in the game right now. better than Chris Jones. Now, like, no Aaron Donald, no Fletcher Cox. Like, Chris Jones is kind of falling off. Geno Atkins gone. Grady Jarrett kind of just doing his own weird thing down in Atlanta. He's kind of got the mantle right now, and it's well deserving. That's the good. That's where it basically ends. Because, yeah, Quinyon Mitchell and Slay put Malik Neighbors in jail, basically. I think, he had 3 catches or 2 catches? No, 4 catches, 41 yards. And 2 of them were against DeJean or Avonte Maddox, which is just crazy. Quinyon Mitchell, by the way, my crusade for him winning Defensive Rookie of the Year continues. He allowed 15 yards receiving total yesterday. Dude's lockdown. He does not care who you are. I do like this Tracy kid. I like his explosiveness, ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. He is a fun
I picked him in fantasy. Tyrone Tracy.
Not bad, right?
He was my sleeper pick. Him and Bucky Irvin.
So here's the crazy thing. The Giants had a grand total of, I believe, 134 yards combined total for the game.
It was like 100. Yeah, it was our lowest amount of yards since 119 yards of offense.
Mm-hmm.
That's our least since week 1 of 1999 when we put up 107 against Tampa.
I know what they're gonna say, and
all I'm gonna say, last point. Their only 3 points were on a drive where we were in prevent the entire drive. So, yes, it is the Giants, and their offense is a work in progress. As in, they have good weapons. They have decent weapons with Neighbors, Singletary, Tracy, but they need a new guy running the show. The Eagles defense woke up. And, yeah, they beat some backup tackles, but they did have 8 sacks. They only had 3 points. Secondary's getting there. The linebackers, everyone's making – the one thing that stood out to me, Chris, there wasn't missed tackles. Everybody was getting to the ball and bringing guys down. Even our linebackers who are notorious for just overshooting the ball, corners, safeties, everyone was just there making the play. That gave me hope. Also, Bryce Huff with his first career Eagles sack. Let's go, boys. It just took
dude, I noticed that. It's the first thing I was going to text you on the side.
Isn't it coincidence how he was terrible this whole year? Hassan Reddick didn't want to report. And as soon as Hassan Reddick is like, yeah, I'll come back Monday, Bryce Huff's like, all right, time to go. Let me get a sack.
Well, he already had a half a sack already last week, and he actually played very well.
Dude, you know what's crazy?
I don't know. There might have been some conspiracy between the Jets and the Giants. I mean, the Jets and the Eagles.
The biggest conspiracy for me, that's hilarious. Biggest conspiracy for me was how going into the game, Mekhi Becton was like, I don't want to play here. You can get hurt here. And then he gets concussion in like the first series. And I'm like, you're kidding.
People were.
You know what? I was okay with it. You know why? Because Steen is a great backup. And I want Becton for the actual games that really are going to matter in the back end of the season. I don't want him tearing his ACL in that crap hole of a field. And I'm
surprised
so
nobody got like hurt.
I'm so happy. Nobody on either team got hurt this weekend on that shithole of a field. God bless. No Giants got hurt. No Eagles got hurt. My wish came true. I did not want anybody getting hurt yesterday.
I think his comments got blown out of proportion too. Like when he was talking about he ripped the stadium, which everybody should rip the stadium.
I slipped walking in there, and I'm a fan.
Yeah. But he's like, he was saying, when he was playing there, he's like, on the other side of the field, you had the Giants, had their history, their Super Bowl trophies, and then we were just the New York Jets. And he was saying, oh, he ripped the team, this and that. I didn't think he ripped the team. Did he say anything that was inaccurate? I was like, the Jets and the Giants is like the Yankees and the Mets. We are the stepchild. We are the little brother. We have one Super Bowl versus your 4 kind of thing. We are the joke. You guys are the real deal kind of thing. And I don't think he said anything out of the ordinary or that any other person wasn't thinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, to take a quick, not to cut anybody off, but a quick commercial break right here. This isn't really a commercial break, but this is just funny. When reporters asked Tua Tagovailoa if he plans on wearing a Guardian cap, he said, nope, I will not be doing that. It's a personal choice. Who retweeted that? Antonio Brown, welcome
Our
to
guy!
the team. Hashtag CTESPN.
Our man is on a legendary historic
Oh
run.
my
By the way,
God.
you see how him, Le'Veon Bell, and Mike Wallace were at
What up?
the Trump rally on Sunday.
I did
was
see that. Dude, they
cracking
shut
up.
down the highway in Philly. They
What
shut down
happened?
the highway here in
Oh,
Philly.
yeah. Wow.
And like, I don't even know if he was like, I don't know if he was here at all, or he like might have been here for briefly on his way up the pit. But like, I would think he would just fly in the pit. But I'm like,
I don't know.
I didn't know.
He probably made a stop in Philadelphia somewhere.
Probably he's been to Philly like tons of times already. But I mean, I'm not.
I
getting
guess
into
Pennsylvania
politics,
is like a big swing state or something. I don't know. I'm not really like
Yeah.
that big of a political.
His presidential speech was everything I thought it would be.
Yeah, it was
Eagles-
hilarious.
Yeah, nope, it's personal
Yeah, I
choice.
can't
Welcome to
believe
the team.
He's wearing
Dude,
a Guardians
his-
hat right now. Look at that hat.
His presidential speech thing was exactly as I expected. It turned into an endorsement that ended with just like a comedy roast special. Like they just needed Jeff Ross. That was all he was missing.
I think he's yeah.
He said everybody in here is going to be cracker of the day.
I love it.
I did
All right,
see.
I do have.
I'm
I
not
don't
beginning.
know, Nate or Dom. I don't know if you guys want to touch on this. I'll make my last point right now. I'll let Chris go as well. My last point is the biggest loser of the day yesterday was Joe Shane, because the clip I saw more than Saquon's run yesterday was Joe Shane laughing when John Maris said, "I'm gonna have a tough time sleeping if we lose Saquon to the Eagles." And I see Joe Shane with that smug grin on his face, thinking he's fine, he's good. And they talked about, I think it was Ty Schmidt on McAfee today, said like, dude, he looked like such a doofus in that quote, especially after yesterday.
Can I? Whenever you
Yeah.
guys say,
That is my point. I think
news.
Joe Shane is gone after the end of the season. I think that just sealed his fate because I think he played check. I think he played poker and lost bad. I think Dable is the coach for the Giants. I like him as a coach. I think he's a great offensive mind. But Shane screwed up royally. So that is my take there. He lost yesterday.
So I'll break news real quick. I don't know. You guys brought up Ayuk earlier. He's done for the year. Deebo Samuel has been hospitalized due to pneumonia and fluid in his lungs. There's no timeline for his return. George Kittle has a sprained foot and is considered day-to-day. CMC's out. So we already know that. So
God, I thought you were stopping at
Shoot.
Brock Purdy.
Another one?
So no, Brock, no. This is what you're gonna see for the next 3 weeks. So now all of his weapons are hurt because this happened to many quarterbacks. This separates the questions if you're really good or if you're really bad. And if you're really bad, the excuse is gonna be, oh, I didn't have my weapons. Like they said that about when Wentz was in Philly. They said that with Hurts at one point. Hurts' numbers were down without
They
AJ
said with
Brown.
Brady. They said with Brady. Like it.
They said with Brady. So I'm like, there's no like my worst nightmare is the media is going to give him excuses, but then when it comes to like a different quarterback that's like not in like California or like
Not
any
playing
other
for
big
the
market,
darling that is the San
well,
Francisco 49ers.
he hasn't been playing that well. But rip Brock Purdy fantasy owners if you have him, because I know I do in like 10 leagues.
Oof.
But that's all I got. Eagles wise, we played really good. Nothing I can say went bad. Calls went well. Offense looked good. Defense went well. I'm not going to parade on the Giants.
I won't either.
Giants fans know the issue with the Giants. We know the issue with the Giants. I hate Daniel Jones. They hate Daniel Jones. I'm glad we have that in common. I hope you guys get a new quarterback, number one, because I hate seeing that. And that's all I got. I really don't have anything else. I think the Eagles actually played a really good game, surprisingly. So I'll give it to New York.
All right, Nate, you've been having your hand up for a while. We'll let you rip the Band-Aid off.
Here's the thing, dude. I don't think that we should go ahead and just say Joe Shane should be fired. I do think that he had a pretty solid draft. I think, Dom, we agree on that, right? The draft this past year was pretty good. You get neighbors and everything. And like we said the last week, right? We couldn't trade up to 3 to get a quarterback. What makes you think we can get Jaden Daniels? So that clip from Hard Knocks can just be put in the gutter because there's no point in bringing it up whatsoever. Now, the whole Saquon clip, I understand that. that was released again yesterday to remind everyone why Joe Shane did not sign Saquon Barkley. Let's be honest. If Saquon's still on this team, we still suck. You know why? Because that quarterback's a freaking bum. Guys, 99 yards of passing in one game. Remember how Bo Nix did it a couple weeks ago against the Jets? That's acceptable. He's a rookie. This is a 6-year quarterback. 99 yards against the Eagles. 8 sacks. And before you say anything, you may think it's the offensive line. Pro Football Focus has all the linemen that played yesterday above 80 in terms of Pro Football Focus grade. That means they didn't play bad. It was Jones causing the sack himself because he's an idiot.
He was taking. I was going to say his time in pocket was terrible. I think. Nate, can't you look? Isn't it like that on PFF right now? The time in pocket isn't it above 5 or 6 seconds. He was waiting on some of those.
Yeah, dude.
I think the recommended is what, 3 seconds max.
3 seconds or less, especially if it's an elite pass rush. You need
elite pass. That's what Collinsworth was saying. Like if it's 3 or under, like you got to get that ball. That's what I had with Hurts. That's the issue I had with Hurts a lot of weeks. It's like he holds onto the ball. I'm like, dude,
he's trying to make the home run throw.
He used to do that all the time. He used to just not see a guy and get rid of it. Like that's what I like. I don't like a guy who just holds it and then like. Well,
I noticed yesterday our sacks were he had less than a second and he was just swallowing.
I mean
the Giants D line is sensational. Let's just give credit where credit is due.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Yesterday, I will agree with Nate. Daniel Jones was literally just hanging on to the ball. I think he was just counting all the Mississippi still he could run like it was touch football, and then he would just get hit.
This is the Eagles defense. This isn't, the Panthers defense that he'll face in a couple of weeks. This is an Eagles defense that actually has a pass rush. And this O-line is better than he's ever had in his life, and he still can get the job done. The run game was non-existent, and, that sucks, obviously. But the fact that we had to bench Jones to bring Locke in, and when Locke came in, he fumbled twice in the fourth quarter.
I saw Drew Locke run onto the field.
I saw Drizzy, dude.
Thankfully, we were able to breathe because he fumbled twice, and the one time he threw the ball down the field to Hyatt, Hyatt has a cracked rib now, so that's freaking nice to see. Just overall, dude, we played pathetically. Yesterday,
like a puppy or something like that in the offseason. What is with your luck is almost as bad as the 49ers right now.
I would like to say we're worse. But yeah, I mean, I'll let obviously Dom is here too, so I know he has to speak his mind too. But just to finish my point up, dude, even if Saquon was here, still wouldn't have made a difference. I don't think Joe Shane should be fired. I think he deserves to pick his own guy. It's not fair that our past couple of head coaches have never had their guy. We've been stuck with Jones through the Gettleman era, and all that stuff. So, Joe Shane deserves to stay. I think Dable deserves obviously to stay as well. If one or both of those guys are fired, I'll never forgive this owner who, Jared, you said on multiple occasions, and I've always kept your story in mind about the Mariners and your client. That's always been in my head ever since you told me that. And I'm going to say it again, dude. This owner freaking sucks. He's the reason why Jones is still here. And honestly, if he had his way and Saquon was still here, Burns wouldn't be here. And all the other free agent signings that we made this offseason that have made a difference as well, they wouldn't be here either. So, yeah.
Dom, want to finish this off strong here? We'll get moving on the rest of the games.
Yeah, I mean, Nate said it pretty well. There's nothing new. It's the same thing every single week. And it's funny, too, because what you said about the Mars last week is burned in my head, too, about him Jones being a kid to him. And it's just the same thing every week. The thing that sucks, too, is this defense is solid, so we're going to win a couple games, too. There's no way that we're not going to win, like, 2 or 3 more games. I feel like this defense is good, too, so it's going to hurt our stock again. I don't know. I stopped watching after 5 minutes into the third quarter. I was. It's not even worth the mental
beat down yet.
It's not worth it. So that's all I got to say.
There were so many other good games on a 1 o'clock window yesterday. But listen, I think honestly, in terms of like positioning, you guys could be a lot worse shape. You have your coach, you have some good pieces. It's just a matter of you got to fix who's under center.
I have a question for all you though, because Dable announced yesterday that Jones is still going to be the starter after benching him, which makes no sense.
It actually does. I will tell you why.
So why bench Jones for Locke and then announce that Jones is going to be the starter again to provide a spark?
Well, there's two. He wins either way. I'm going to tell you why. Because if he wins, if Jones comes out and starts winning games, then oh my God, it's worked. They've revived Daniel Jones' career. If he doesn't win and they keep losing, your draft pick goes up and up and up and up. Look at the problem is you bring Drew Lock in. As much as Drew Lock is like a average quarterback, C+ quarterback at best, the energy of bringing in a backup, especially a guy like Locke who's going to take risks and throw the ball in the triple coverage and occasionally going to make a throw where your mind is blown because it's just ridiculous. Nobody else on the planet can make it because he's insane arm talent, just the accuracy's terrible. It's always been his problem. That would be a problem because that's what happened with Tommy DeVito last year. You guys played yourselves out of having a top 3 pick and getting a Daniels or a May. So now Dable looks like a genius because he's making Jones play. So when they cut him loose next year, there's no argument why they cut him. So it's honestly, this is the smartest thing they could have done. You let Jones play out his deal because clearly he's not good enough to win games. And in the Giants' schedule, if I'm not correct, Dom, I think you and me looked at it when we were hanging out a couple weeks ago. It's not great going forward. You guys have a lot of tough games coming up. Brian Dable's playing chess here, guys. He knows it's going to get ugly regardless of who's playing quarterback, but they have a better chance of getting a top 5, top 3 draft pick if old number 8 is sitting behind center, fumbling, stumbling, getting sacked, and just getting himself killed. That works out better, especially when they have to cut him. And I believe at the end of this year, the opt-out, they don't owe any money to him. So in theory, this is the smartest and best case scenario both ways for you Giants fans.
I think one thing to add, if you don't mind, Jared, real quick. I think if he loses next week in Pittsburgh, and I pray to God he comes out healthy, because the healthy part is the important thing here, because if he gets hurt this year, as you guys all know, he's owed a $23 million injury guarantee. So here's the thing. If he doesn't beat Pittsburgh next week, which, Dom, let's be honest, we just saw Pittsburgh, what they did to the Jets. What makes you think we're going to do this, put up points against the Steelers? We need to bench him just for money's sake, to save us from paying him that freaking bum any more money. Just bench him, put DeVito in for fun. Let's have some fun for once. Okay, that's why I'm wearing a freaking hoodie today because I'm depressed because this damn quarterback is still under center.
I don't know. You put DeVito in, he might win you. He might win you a couple games.
Yeah, you might win a couple games because he just makes it ugly.
I think his arm isn't the best anyway. So
the key is to lose games. You learn from last year. I mean, next year the quarterback class is a little more different, and there's a lot more top 5 talent that are not quarterbacks. So I believe you have the tackle at LSU, the tackle out of Texas. You have the big 3 quarterbacks: Shedeur, Cam Ward, and Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers had a rough night. So he might fall to you guys anyway if he keeps playing like he played against Georgia, which we'll talk about.
I'm on the mock draft.
5 minutes. Yeah, mock draft. What do they got right now, Chris?
8 for the Giants would be their pick, and they got Ashton Gentry from Boise State going to them.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, here we go again. Same crap from 7 years ago, right? Or 7?
Take one. Yeah. I'm gonna see if there's another one.
Well, the Jets are picking 5, right? What do they give us?
5. You had the 5th pick.
Yeah, bro. What do we got? What is the mock telling us?
For some reason it says the Titans had the 5th pick. You might have.
Yeah, may have not had next game. We'll go back to it. Let's move on.
Someone bookmark this. If we get Ashton Gianti in the first round, I will drink for the first time.
Oh.
Oh,
yeah, no Malibu or Michelob Ultra.
No, we're gonna go with one of the official beers of the podcast. I know all of you guys drank them, either with me or on the show. Have them drink a Miller Lite.
My feelings away.
Dom's signature.
It's my go-to beer. Also, this one has Jalen Milroe going to the Panthers.
I don't get the Milroe hype on tape. It makes no sense.
Dude, he's been stinking, dude.
You know the worst part is, Dom, didn't I tell this to you before you even came on the show? I said I don't get the Milroe draft hype, top 5. It does not make sense to me. On tape, he does not look like a quarterback. I get a lot of raw talent, but a lot of bad mechanics and bad decision-making. Last time a quarterback came out doing that, it was Anthony Richardson, but that was a Colts team who was going to supposedly develop him and then didn't. But anyway, we got to move on. We're going to speed run the one-sentence game. So here's the deal, folks. There are about 5 games that we've, before the show, decided are not really worth mentioning besides me making a quick crack about them in the score. So I'll run those games off quick. Music Maestro. I'm going to do it myself, actually. I have to decide which one I want to pick. Go.
Who is that? Is that Quinn? Is that Quinn?
I think it's Quinn Ewers.
You know exactly who that is, Matt and Chris. No,
That could be future.
Dude, I can't do this again.
Dude, don't do this to Chris. He's gonna start crying. Okay, he doesn't want to.
Dude, I'm literally gonna pick a different college team.
That's literally like me.
It's not your fault. Like,
Cowboys,
it's just like why I don't know why all my boys are going.
All right,
Dr. Nussbaum.
Rally back. All right, boys, we gotta circle back here. So the persona non grata games that nobody really wants to talk about. Bills defeat the Titans 34-10. Amari Cooper caught a touchdown on debut. Tennessee looks awful. Seahawks Falcons, another blowout. Possible MCL sprain for DK Metcalf. Hopefully more news of that to come. Hopefully it's positive. But Seahawks are looking back to form. I do not know what the hell's happened with the Vikings. Dolphins Colts in the worst football game I ever had to watch 5 minutes of. Yes, this was worse than the Thursday night game. Holy crap, both teams are bad. Colts win 16-10. Panthers get blown out by 33 by a bunch of backups, but allegedly Jaden Daniels is okay. He supposedly is going to play next week. And what shouldn't have been a good game, but was, Rams defeat the Raiders 20-15. Once again, another ugly football game nobody wants to talk about. All right, we're circling back to London, governor. The Jags saving Dougie P's job? That's my sentence. Chrissy, what was your thoughts on the London game?
Jags are back. I'm back. And that's all that matters. And it took us all the way to London to figure that out.
So we're back to jagging off there, Chrissy?
Oh, pure jagging. It hurts.
All right. Tom, thoughts on Jags Patriots?
I think this is a win for the Patriots. Drake may look good. They lose. Keep that draft spot. And the Jaguars, Lawrence had a good game. That's all I really had to say.
Brian Thomas Jr. is a monster. Absolutely
Yes,
Absolute geezer.
Which really puts in perspective how that LSU team should have been better with Ed Daniels, Neighbors, and Brian Thomas Jr. What the hell were you doing, Brian Kelly? All right, Maddie.
This game was a win-win for me. Whenever I can see the Patriots lose, that is just a win for me and a win for America. So that is all I have to say. Win-win. Patriots lose.
Patriots lose. Win for America. Let that sentence sink in. All right, moving on. Texans-Packers, one of the games of the weekend. This game cost me an almost perfect week. This and the Georgia game almost cost me a perfect week in the six-pack this week. But I am catching up, man. Maddie, I'm like a Jaws circle in the water. I'm one behind Chris. I'm one behind Chris and Nate, and I'm 11 behind Matt. Daddy's coming, boys. Can't keep me down forever. Oh, man. Anyway, Texans.
He just called himself Daddy.
I did just call myself. I'm the captain of this damn ship. All right.
I'm jumping off.
Texans looked. Okay, Gilligan, you go for it.
Yeah, I'm jumping off, dude.
With that hat, Texans looked abysmal on offense. So 2 touchdowns were off of Joe Mixon runs. The other problem, CJ Stroud, 10 for 21, 86 yards. What the hell happened on offense? I got to rewatch all 22 of this. Nate, I'm actually going to have you send that film over to me because I need to watch more of this because I don't understand how they were this bad. Congratulations to the Packers, by the way. They look good. Jordan Love still looked a little sloppy. 33 for 24, 3 touchdowns, 2 INTs. Dom, what'd you think of this game? Texans, Packers.
Again, Romeo Doubs is awesome. I love watching him. I'm not going to say CJ Stroud's bad, but he's not been looking that great lately. Bad game.
Yeah.
Tough division. Packers, Texans. Teams are looking good. That's all I got to say.
All right, Maddie.
Yeah, great. That game was exactly what I thought it would be in the sense of just a back and forth, competitive, tough game right there. My pick got the better hand of it with the Packers. Stroud's looking a little shaky that game, but not too worried. I think the Texans will be okay, but Jordan Love is the real deal.
Gilligan.
Yeah, I picked the worst team in this situation. Felt bad for Hector last week because kind of ripped on the Texans. Well deserved. Texans offense sometimes just look like they just can't click. Like a little bit what Don was saying. Sometimes I just don't know what Stroud's doing. Sophomore slump, it happens. They just played a better team this week. It was in Green Bay, so little Lambeau factor in there. But yeah, it was a good win for the Packers. I like both these teams, so I don't really have anything negative to say.
Nate, anything you want to contribute?
Romeo Dobbs, baby. He's doing really good right now for the Packers. He's not the receiver one yet because you have Watson and Jaden Reed, but he's slowly becoming
He's a
that
solid
main target
number.
for
He's like
Love.
arguably one of the better number 3s in the league.
Mhm.
I got you.
Yeah.
Matt, you go yet?
Yeah, I went.
Okay, cool. All right, moving on. We got another game of the weekend. Lions-Vikings. I did not think this game was going to be that close. Final score 31-29. Jared Goff, clutch drive when he needed it most. He was handling the ball correctly. He's, I think, a top 10 quarterback. He made the right throws, made the plays. They got the weapons. Lions the best team in the NFC. Dom.
Jared Goff, yeah, he's making a case for MVP right now. He's playing out of his mind right now. Really great. That was a really good game. I enjoyed watching. I had the Vikings. I was a little bummed out by that, but it was a great game. Both great teams. I really like the Lions. Sucks about Hutchinson, but they got great guys on defense. I think they'll be fine. So, yeah.
Alrighty. So Maddie, go. Sorry.
Best division in football right now, the NFC North. The Detroit Lions came in and what Jared and I thought they were going to do, which was just going to win a close game. The Vikings are probably the most surprising 5-1 team, in my opinion, to start this year. Future Jets quarterback Sam Darnold looked pretty good as well, even though he had that one interception. Anybody catch that?
Yeah, he said future. I heard that.
Sam Darnold round 2, maybe. But no, hey, Lions get it done. Dan Campbell is so fun to watch on those post-game little locker room sessions that they do. It's just Detroit's having a lot of fun.
Tell you what, man, it was a ballsy win, man. All right, Gilligan.
On the bad end again for this game. Had the Vikings. Thought I stood out there. Skull Nation couldn't do it. Very disappointed. I thought the David Montgomery fumble and the return kind of set the tone, but forgot about pure offense. I was all over that last year. Don't know, what made me pick Minnesota. They were due for a loss. Matty was right. Hate to say it, even though he's the winner of this goddamn thing. But I'm on the come up. I'm on the come up along with Jared. The Jared still ride.
Jens are making a run, baby.
We will still ride. Good win for Campbell's. They're the best team in the NFC.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say that.
Dom, you went right, so I'll just leave Nate.
Lions keep on winning, man. Dan Campbell is such a phenomenal coach, dude. Seriously. Amon-Ra went off yesterday as well. And then, Jake Bates from the XFL? Or
XFL, or UFL, sorry. He's also a kicker on 2 of my fantasy teams. Came in clutch for me this weekend.
There you go.
All right, because I lost Jake Elliott because a bunch of my boys shagged him for me when I wasn't looking. All right, going to the Ohio Bowl. We didn't think we were going to cover this one, but we are. Final score, Cincinnati 21, Cleveland 14. Nick Chubb, congratulations, brother. First touchdown back. What a recovery. Gotta love it. Also, Cedar Grove's finest from the University of Miami, David Njoku with a late touchdown. But the big story was not that. It was Deshaun Watson tearing his Achilles, and Cleveland fans were cheering. So,
yeah, did you see? I don't know if you saw this, but somebody sent it to me. I don't know. I don't root for anybody's injuries, but I mean, Deshaun Watson, he's a terrible person. He's a terrible person. He did terrible things. But somebody just put a picture of, and you hate it. We think it's hilarious, but you hate it. The Big Justice, AJ Boom. They said this is the sound the Achilles made. They said,
God.
how many booms is that?
I feel like I need to do a confession for laughing at that one. Jeez, I never root for somebody's injuries. Yeah, anyway. You guys don't have to talk about this game if you don't want to. I just wanted to bring up the news because it was announced this morning, of course, that
Bengals offense stinks.
Yeah, they are not good. We
They
play them. We
stink,
play
dude.
them
Like,
next week. By
Joe
the way.
Burrow, I don't know what is going on with him. I just don't know anymore because
Quinyon Mitchell gets his first interception off Joe Burrow next week.
oh my god, hopefully I'm home for that game too because I want to watch it.
I'll be nursing a monster hangover from the Clem Halloween party 2024.
That's so far. Yeah, I don't know. Burrow stinks, so I just hope he doesn't turn into prime Burrow next week because that's the Eagles' lock, the quarterbacks.
Well, I mean, the good news for us Eagles, our streak of bad offensive lines continues because I believe, Nate, if I'm correct, the Bengals are ranked in the bottom 10 for O-line again this year.
Not doing so well.
So we got a shot. Anybody else got any thoughts on this game, or do you want to move on to the fun stuff?
Put in James Winston more.
I want more JMO.
Dude, please.
Oh my God! All right, finally, game of what we thought was going to be game of the weekend, but really wasn't. Chiefs 49ers. Chiefs win 28-18. Carson Wentz getting a snap in the game.
I was wrong again. I picked the 49ers, and I forgot Carson Wentz. My old hero was on the Chiefs, so that's my bad. My bad, Wentz.
Carson, we forgive you. We love you. We thank you for your service to our organization. We want
Without him, there's no Super Bowl.
Yeah, he helped us get to a Super Bowl, man. He basically cemented us with a first-round bye so Nicky Foles could come in and close. But, yeah, this game was not as close as we thought. Yeah, guys, weapons getting injured aside, Chiefs defense looked like they were back. Dom?
Yeah, I had the 49ers. Stupid to ever bet against Pat Mahomes. I always think this. I'm doing something smart. This is going to be the game, but oh my God! And the hit stick he had, not the hit stick, but he trucked that dude in the end zone.
That was great.
Wow, that was amazing. But I lost on that one. But Chiefs are back. Chiefs are good. They're not back, but they've always been here. So
yeah. Typical Chiefs to be 6-0, and Travis Kelce is not having a good year statistically, and Pat Mahomes is just. I haven't been watching too many of the Chiefs games, but just fantasy wise, because he's my quarterback. I mean, he's my quarterback in one of my leagues. Not having a great fantasy year, so if you're not having a great fantasy year, you're probably not doing that great in the regular season. I mean, I know he had 2 interceptions, 154 yards the other day. Like I said, I haven't been keeping track of all their games, but the fact that you got Mahomes thrown for under 200 yards and 2 interceptions, Kelce has 17 yards receiving, and you're still 6-0. You're still beating teams by double scores. I mean, the Niners, when you got a guy named Jacob Cowing as your second receiving leader for that game, you're not winning games.
Also, do not be surprised if the Niners go out and make a move for a receiver now that Mr. Jennings and Mr. Samuel are the only weapons they have left. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go out and try to get somebody. I love the varsity shot you just sent us, Chris.
Well, they can't get Martez Valdez-Scantling because he is now almost said Seattle Saint, New Orleans Saint.
Oh, yeah, because the Rashid Shaheed's out for the season. That one hurt, man. They cut him for 3 teams. Chrissy, what do you think about the Chiefs? Did you already talk about the Chiefs and
I mean, I did for a second, but I just said I picked the 49ers because the way I took it, the game was 49ers will beat them in the regular season, and then the Chiefs will house them in the bowl again. But yeah, I picked the wrong team again. So my NFL picks were so cold that my college picks were good. Dude, the reverse of me from last year is great. Last year I had a good NFL picks, but bad college picks. This year it just flips.
I know.
So that's my luck.
All right, and Nathan.
I mean, crap, man. Travis Kelce sucks, dude. I mean, maybe not that he sucks, but it's just defenses know how to deal with him now, which is as simple as double coverage. 4 catches for 17 yards yesterday for Kelce. So the leading receiver is Noah Gray for the Chiefs.
Wow.
That's Chiefs defense is the real deal.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that they lost to Jarius Sneed. You would think they'd take a hit. It's like last year. They lost those receivers. They trade Tyreek Hill. Boom, Super Bowl.
Speaking of Snead, he's the worst graded corner in the NFL.
I'm thinking that's more of a Spags defensive thing than it is for him actually being a good corner.
The scheme matters.
Listen,
Scheme matters.
Spags has been rated one of the best defensive coordinators, even as far back as his time in Philadelphia, his time in New York, KC. Even when he was head coach of the Rams for like 3 years, their defense was always good. So Spags is Spags, man. He's a good D coach. Anyway, we do have to talk
Carson
about.
Wentz might have.
Go for it.
Sorry, I said Carson Wentz might have the best like old school Twitter of all time. Was thinking about cutting off my Johnson, CJ20. Like what? Who says that?
I thought the tweet you sent us in the chat was even better.
Like, oh yeah, he's got a preference.
Apparently, all right. Oh, jeez. Moving on up, we got to talk about the NCAA quick before we roll into my football preview. All right, we do have to talk about. I believe all of our my gimme hit. I completely forgot Oregon was playing Purdue on Friday night. That was funny. I'm like, wait, this game was on? I was actually kind of stressing about it because the Purdue fans were like, oh, Big Ten favorites coming into Purdue on a Friday. I'm like, oh, great. We're going to lose to Purdue. They're going to lose to Purdue. I'm going to be down 2 points. Nope, beat them 35-0. My Miami Hurricanes, our first clean sweep of the week, brothers. 52-45. It was a 14-point game going into the final minute. Louisville scored with I think 50, 60 seconds left in the game, and then just couldn't get the ball back. I don't know what's up with Miami defense, but in Cam Ward, our offense, and I never thought I'd say this, Mario Cristobal's game management, I trust. What has happened? I think we're in Bizarro world. That's 3 straight close games where we haven't screwed ourselves. What's happening? Anyway, Miami wins. They're still 7-0, taking on those jabronis from Tallahassee next week. Any thoughts on Miami, Louisville, you D-Gens?
No defense, huh?
Play like crap. And we have all of our guys back healthy.
Yeah.
Ruben Bain, Alston, they're all back. I'm like, what is happening?
You're always going to get a game like this.
What'd you say?
Let you know.
Chris, we didn't hear what you said. What'd you say?
Sorry, my internet is so bad right now.
Oh, okay.
You're always, yeah. But what I was saying, it's like cutting off again. I'm gonna leave and rejoin.
Okay.
Rejoice.
By the way, what's it called, Jared? You remember you made a pick last week on Thursday about Cam Ward touchdown passes? That was correct, right? You said over 2.
Yes, sir.
You're on a roll, man. Jesus.
I said over 3, actually, I think, but it still works.
Close enough, yeah.
Yes. Dom, Matt, any thoughts on Miami versus Louisville? Possibly one of the best games of the week in the noon slot.
No, just future Jets quarterback Cam Ward just continues to impress.
I would endorse that. I would probably get a Cam Ward Jets.
I wouldn't because I don't.
What about us?
I think
if he goes to the Giants, I'm burning your building to the ground.
Which is my building.
That'd be a blessing, actually. So
no, yeah, a blessing for the Jets because then they can finally get out of the Giants' shadow. But I will burn.
Actually, don't burn the building; just burn the turf.
I'll do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Stay away from Cam Ward. Go draft that weenie from Boulder.
Now, Nate, go tell Joe Shane's kids to tell him to draft Cam Ward because you get this job once.
Then
and then I'll draft them, and then we'll get a new turf.
And then we'll draft whatever the lineman name on LSU is, Perkins or something.
For some reason, we're 2-5, and for some reason, all the mock drafts have the Jets picking like 21, which I don't understand. But they're saying Carson Beck, which you know what to do. Friggin' off now.
Gross. We're gonna talk about that mid. Going back to it, Chris is back. Chris, any quick thoughts on Miami, Louisville?
I was gonna say, I know you're saying your defense was, pretty bad, but that's gonna happen once in a while, with teams. So I mean, look, at the end of the day, if I were you, and I think you are, I'd just be happy I got the dub. 7-0, ranked 6. I mean, vibes are high. You can't Miami looks really good. It's one of the games that unfortunately I couldn't watch this weekend. But like I said, I mean, Bad defense happens once in a while. Cam Ward balled out. Is he the Heisman favorite now?
No, it's Genti. Until Genti has a
That's
bad
Genti?
game.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I
And
figured.
I don't want to hear this Travis Homer he's playing great, but dude, if you take him off Colorado, they're still going to beat bad teams and still lose to good teams. Cam Ward is the only reason Miami's undefeated right now.
Yeah.
Ashton Genti's the only reason Boise State's ranked. Let's put that in perspective. There's two primary favorites, then there's everyone else.
Sure.
I don't want to hear this Travis Hunter for Heisman BS. It's annoying. It's a really bad take. It's everyone trying to be edgy.
They got him going 1 overall to the Panthers in some mocks.
Yeah, whatever.
Maddie, that Maryland pick was so ballsy.
Dude, I'm not on
the hip on that one.
I'm not on an upset streak because I'm pretty sure I missed on maybe a couple weeks ago. But I've been batting a solid I'm batting like 400 with upsets. I don't know how.
I think I'm on the come up again, dude. Because I hit on Illinois to beat Michigan at home. I saw that. I had to take advantage of it. I'm like, when am I going to get this cake again?
Michigan looks so bad.
Michigan, anytime I see a bad team now that I know is a bad team, I'm like, let me just hope the other team's underdog.
I'm going to start picking against USC and FSU.
We're talking upsets, boys. How about my upset? Tennessee over.
Yeah, your first one of the year.
Alabama.
Let's go, Jared.
Second one of the year. That was my first college upset of the year, though.
Oh yeah, who was your?
I picked Jade Daniels beating Joe Shiesty.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Go on. College one. There you go.
First college upset of the year, boys. Finally nailed one.
There you go.
I've lost on game-winning field goals in my upsets 4 times this year. Not fun.
All my upsets come down to if the opposing team scores on the last drive. They score on the last drive, I lose. If they don't, I'll end up winning. Because every upset I've had has been a close game.
So I guess quick off, Alabama was keeping it close the entire game. They actually the lead, I believe it was 10-0 at one point until Tennessee started coming back. That's actually why I want to go off the golf course. Dude,
their defense stinks. Even Milroe looks real questionable.
And the end of that game was wild. Me and my uncle's family were watching that in his TV room, and I'm like, who you got? It's like Tennessee. And I'm stressing right now.
Dude,
I thought we were gonna have a perfect run, and then freaking the next game we're gonna talk about. Ugh. Any thoughts on Alabama, Tennessee, boys?
Nico Lamala Ding Dong. Pretty good, man.
Oh my God. Chris, I think you've permanently been removed as the official guy of the penalty box. Nate's rolling deep for it at this point.
Dude, take it, dude, because the power structure I told you in this podcast is absurd, Nate.
I'm grumpy, man. I didn't get my Panda Express today.
Power structure.
He's gonna keep you never throw Jared in the penalty box. He goes, my show. But then when me and Nate the Great, we say something pretty funny and clever, we go right to the box for 2 minutes.
It's comedic to
power structure from up here, and we're down here.
You know what? Talk to your union rep.
Yeah. I'm gonna belly up to HR, dude.
Today. Hey, I'm gonna let you know a little secret. That's Kelsey.
Oh hell yeah, he'll listen to me.
No, he won't. He'll tell you to go report your supervisor, me.
Oh, God damn it!
Isn't today the first episode of Race Wars?
What the?
Of this show? On Thursday, you said Nate's Race Wars or something.
Oh yeah, Nate.
Yeah, Jared, you brought this up. Remember? You're like, next week is the first episode of Nate's Race Wars.
I jokingly said, what is this? I never said this was the first episode.
I had a whole script ready. Me and Dom were going to go off after the show, dude.
Oh, my God.
Damn. All that for nothing.
And if we counter, we're going to get canceled. So I guess you guys should win.
We're done.
Congratulations on the undefeated season.
Yeah.
Of Race Wars.
With the 07 Patriots.
Oh, good Lord. All right, moving on. Georgia and Texas. What the hell?
Eesh.
Oh, man.
I hate doing it. I actually like Texas a lot, too. If I was an LSU fan, that's who I'd be. I'd be a Texas fan. So, unfortunately, I got to do the whoop down there. Done. I was so sad.
So bad, dude. It's
dude, they said this, and I believed it. Georgia had something to prove.
Oh yeah.
They choked. They lost to Bama. They came all the way back and still lost to Bama. They
Everyone
barely
wrote
beat.
them off.
Everyone
wrote them off.
everyone wrote them off. They barely beat Kentucky. They, I think they housed Mississippi State last week because they were my gimme. Like, but they came in with something to prove. Like they put on the Savage the shoulder pads, which was pretty sick.
Yeah.
I don't ever count out the dogs, man.
I think I have a theory about the game, by the way. We all who were here on the podcast all took Texas. And I think we really didn't realize like Texas's best win was Michigan or Oklahoma. And Georgia almost beat Alabama, and it literally came down to them just starting slow and having to come back. Yeah, that one kind of you had to take on the shins a little bit. So we could have avoided this, honestly. We all could have avoided this. We actually looked at this. We all kind of glazed over this game. The Georgia pass rush. Holy shit. Listen, their defense ain't what it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, but damn, they can get after the quarterback quickly. Woo!
Dude, I will say, dude, like Quinn Ewers just looked bad.
Yeah.
He just looked bad, dude. They went to Arch, and then second half they brought back in Ewers, and he was tearing up a little bit, and then they got a few calls going their way. Also, shout out all the Texas fans because I don't know you can do this. Just throw beer bottles on the field as a challenge flag. That was my highlight of because I'm sitting there watching a game.
I saw all weekend, but
one guy threw one
call I've ever seen in my life.
It was terrible.
My uncle, I think my aunt was out there. We were all he has like this giant hot tub outdoor TV setup. It's actually pretty sick. And we're sitting there, I'm sipping on whiskey, and they called DPI, and I spit my whiskey. I'm like, what?
You didn't touch him. The
receiver pushed him. I was like, how is that? Oh my god, that was insane.
Kirby Smart was losing his mind, dude. Dude,
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him because you rarely see like the rest like change a call like that. My favorite's like the fans one guy threw one beer bottle and it was there for 2 minutes, and then you just see 900 just enter the field. I'm like, and then you got somebody texted in the chat about it. I'm like, dude, that's got to be a challenge flag, dude. Like that's the hardest thing I've ever seen a fan base do.
So here's the kicker. So I was hearing about this today. Apparently, they have experts combing through all the video footage, and they're plucking out students who they see in the video footage throw bottles from the cameras. Really? And those students are getting a text from University Athletics that they're banned for the rest of this athletic season. That's until next April.
Dude, those fans made a sacrifice for the next generation of Texas fans to come. So I praise those fans. That's not a crime, dude. That's a challenge flag.
It was so, you know what? It would have been even crazier if they won. If they came back and won, and Quinn Ewers wasn't.
Oh my god, dude! Clothes would have been on the field at that point.
If they came back and won, this would be like a national. They would have called it like a Kirby Smart's weenie butt would have been calling it like a national travesty.
I can't stand Kirby.
I can't either, man. Annoying. Brian Kelly, the Cabbage Patch Twins, apparently.
I can't. Yeah, Speaking of Brian Kelly,
Nate, Dom, Matt, any thoughts on Georgia versus Texas?
No, I got nothing.
So for the Longhorns, right? There's just they have one loss now, so they're not going to be number one anymore. They're still in playoff contention, obviously.
They will be.
Or 5. They're 5.
Is there remaining? I don't think the remaining schedule is that bad, right? Because this was a big matchup for them. But in terms of the rest of their schedule, I think they'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be fine. I mean, it was an ugly loss, but I mean, they do have Vanderbilt, Florida. Shit.
Next time we have Josh Mahler on here, remind me. I think I have an old Longhorns hat. I'm gonna wear it.
Boomer.
Chris is just trying to antagonize every guest we have on. Dude, we're gonna have Frank Michael Smith back on the show, and you're gonna be rocking like a Ravens hat or something.
Ravens flock. Go Flacco. No,
Flacco!
he looked me right in my eyes on the podcast, Matt. He looked me in my eyes and he said, Ole Miss over LSU. I'll never forget it. And he smiled at me. And he said, we got bailed out, dude. We got bailed out. So you know what? This Red River rivalry, I'm wearing a Hook'em hat.
We shouldn't be ashamed that we don't. Some of us don't have Sunday ticket, because if Tariq Woolen can do it, we can do it too.
He's using illegal streams to watch the game, and somebody found it, and they're like, "This man makes $1 million a year, and he uses meth streams." He goes, "If it's free, it's for me." I'm like, I respect that.
Dude, you guys saw LeBron did that? He was on
I
streaming?
salute you, sir. Listen, this is a warning to all you cheap bastards in these league offices who charge us way too much money. The athletes are with us. We salute you, Tyreek Woolen.
Dude, LeBron's with us. Dude, he was on Stream East.
We can send him back.
I swear to God.
All right. We got to move on. I believe that's all the college games.
LSU, Arkansas.
That wasn't one of the games, but it was a fun one. If you and Matt want to touch on that one quick. Y'all handle business.
Maddie, I'm scared to say it, but we might be legit. We might be legit. We're playing A&M this week, though.
You're getting yourself all caught. You're playing A&M this week.
Oh, here's the thing. So I'm looking at the remaining schedule. We got A&M, who's been really shaky, but pretty good at home, like always. We got Bama, who's been pretty shaky at home. We're away against A&M, home against Bama, away in Florida, home in Vanderbilt, home versus Oklahoma. Oh, yeah, get Josh on for that show, November 30th.
Oh, I will. That's wait, no. That's right after Thanksgiving. We'll have to do that for the Tuesday show.
Okay, we'll still get him on. But Maddie, I don't know. We might be back, dude. We won 5 straight. Like, we might be back.
I still don't like Chip Kelly's foster brother.
I don't like him either, but dude, he's doing something right now, and I hate saying it, but we got to eat it up for a little bit. If he's if he's winning us games, like if we weren't supposed to beat Ole Miss, we did. We gave the business to Arkansas, which I did see that coming because a lot of people do say Arkansas was going to get smoked. We beat the Gamecocks away. Like, we're winning games. Like, yeah, we lost to USC week 1. But besides that, like, we've been winning close games. We've been winning blowouts. Like, we could be back. The hopes are high. I mean, we're number 1, number 2 in the SEC right now. I mean, dude, can you imagine, Maddie? This is like an LSU fever dream. We say we beat A&M. We come home against Alabama. We beat them, and that determines if they go to the playoffs or not. We beat them. They have 3 losses, which I've never seen Alabama have 3 losses in years.
I have, but you were in like elementary school, Chris.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I was probably watching like Blue's Clues or something. But we just end the Alabama misery right there. Right. I mean, they're ranked 15, so they're not in the playoffs right now. But I don't know, Maddie. The next 2 games are tough. If we win the next 2, are we back?
Listen, when they count me out, they just pull me right.
You gotta go at it like me, Chris. Every game is a stress factory. Right now, I got Florida State next week, which because it's a rivalry game, I'll never count that out. Then I got 6-1 Duke. I got Georgia Tech, Wake Forest should be okay, and then I got to go to Syracuse the day after Thanksgiving. Terrified of that game, but
a game at a time. That's what I was telling Maddie.
Exactly. But I can't get crushed out. We have 2 games now we got to talk about quick. 15 minutes left. And so, ladies and gentlemen, due to some unforeseen circumstances, I will be doing first touchdowns this week. So, we're rocking and rolling. First game up, we, of course, have the Ravens and Buccaneers. I'm taking the Ravens. I am a fan of how they run the football, how they play game management. I think their defense is taking too much of a barrage when in reality, they're not terrible. They're not great, but they're like a bend don't break defense. If they can get up early and run the football, they're fine. And I think Baker is going to have to sling the ball around the yard early. I do see a scenario where Baker could win, but I am going to take the Ravens here. First touchdown, though. Give me Bucky Irving.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
All right. Nate, who you taking?
Damn, Baltimore is good. But you know what? I feel like I believe in Baker today. You know, give me the Bucks. Mike Evans was originally questionable for today. It was a game time decision, but he's healthy and ready to go for today's game. I think that will make a difference. Godwin is obviously healthy as well, and then you have White and Irving in that backfield. It's gonna be, I don't know how they're gonna do it. It might be close, but I do think Tampa pulls this one out.
All right. Maddie.
This in Tampa.
Yes.
I'm going to take the home team. This is a close game. Both teams are 4-2. Ravens have been very effective running the ball. Baker Mayfield looks rejuvenated in Tampa Bay. But this is just one of those games where I got to give it to the home team because it's going to be that close of a game, in my opinion. So give me the Buccaneers.
Dom.
I'm gonna go Bucks too. I think the line's at 4 right now.
4.5 on ESPN Bet, 4 on other ones. It's kind of a weird moving one.
Yeah, Bucks are solid. They got a lot of offensive weapons. I love Baker at home too. I'm going Bucks.
All right, Malibu's most wanted. Who you got?
I am riding with a lot of the boys here. I'm taking the Bucks
I'm
because
lone wolfing today, man. Oof.
yeah, it's not. I do this a lot where I count the Ravens and the Ravens end up winning, but I don't know what the Bucks is like. They're just red hot. The team, they're a really good team. I mean, the Ravens are a really good team too. I was gonna pick the Ravens too, Jared, but for some reason, I really like the Bucks tonight. You know what? No, you know what? I'll ride with you, Jared.
Hell yeah, D-Gens for life, baby.
You're by yourself. You know what? I feel bad. You're on Revis Island. You know, you need a friend. You're talking to Wilson right
It's
now.
Quinn
You don't know
Island
what
now,
you got
baby.
going on.
You
Now
got a friend in me.
Hey, yo.
That can go either way.
That
That's
sounds like weird connotations.
we're not gonna be doing that on the island, but I will say, Ravens block tonight. Lamid is gonna be a champion.
All right, so we have a doubleheader tonight.
Also, I'm taking the Bucs spread.
Chargers, Cardinals. Now this game has dropped like a lead balloon.
I hate this game.
Yeah, I hate this game too. It's basically a pick 'em. It's Chargers -1 right now on the road. So Cardinals are a 1-point home dog. Give me the Chargers here. I am believing in Hardball, his khakis, and the fact that they run the football on you, through you, around you. It does not matter. Also, I'm here for the resurgence of Quentin Johnston. Love that he's playing better. Chris.
Cardinals got embarrassed last week on the road. They find ways to barely beat good teams, but then they find ways to lose to good teams. So they're like a hit or miss team. Same thing with the Chargers for some reason. I like the Cardinals just because they're at home. I do think they're due for a win, and I think Kyler is going to have a really good night.
Rolling with a lot of road teams this weekend. It's a little scary. Don, what do you think?
Road dog.
Yeah, this is one of those games I'm probably gonna stay away with when it comes to betting, but toss up. I'm gonna go with the home team too. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals.
Maddie.
I'm going to go against the curve here, and I'm going to say the Chargers win this one. I think we're going to have a big game from Dobbins. Lad McConkey's coming back healthy. So I'm going to take the khaki-wearing Los Angeles Chargers over the Cardinals. And, Jared, what's the first touchdown score for this game you got?
I have 2. So my amazing furball cat took his. He has James Conner. I have J.K. Dobbins. I firmly believe the Chargers are to get out early and just start running the football like crazy. And it's going to lead to a J.K. Dobbins punch-in. I love his resurgence as well. It's like Jim Harbaugh has turned the Los Angeles Chargers into the land of misfit toys, and it's amazing. Nate, what do you got?
So Quentin Johnson is inactive for today's game, so expect McConkey and Joshua Palmer to get most of the targets for Justin
AKA
Herbert.
the Boston Scott of wide receivers, Josh Palmer.
Yeah. McConkey's going to be a really good receiver one day, by the way. I feel it. But even the Chargers.
Nice.
Looks
Alrighty.
like you, Dominator. It's all right. It's all good.
And just curious, if you were to place if you were to parlay the first down touchdown scores, if you did Bucky Irving and let's say you did James Conner, you parlayed that together, that is a plus 7,375 odd bet, which I had a free $10 bonus bet. So I'm trying to win $737.50 tonight.
Oh, I grouped together J.K. Dobbins and Bucky Irving with a bonus.
And there was no way I was placing this bet without a bonus bet. So that is the only reason why I even placed it. But so it's free money. But yeah,
hopefully you win.
I did take some weird spreads, so I did parlay. I took Chargers minus 7.5. I took Ravens plus 5.5. I think. So those are the lines I parlayed together for tonight's games. So it should be fun. All right, well, gentlemen, it has been a fun time today. A little quicker show than last week by about 10 minutes. We're working on it. For our sponsors, Righteous Film Beef Jerky, promo code BELLYUP for 15% off. Candidates, promo code BELLYUP 20 for 20% off. And SeaGeek, promo code BELLYUP Sports for $20 off your first initial purchase. I am Jared. That's Dom, Chris, Nate, and Matt. We'll be back Thursday for the Korner Booth pregame. And next Thursday, we have a little surprise for you guys for our Halloween show. So it should be fun. But that being said, we will see you guys Thursday at 7 p.m. Be on the lookout for our 6-pack games as well. And, clips for the show and the show itself will be dropped tomorrow. Peace.
I'll be yes.
Tune in for Race Wars tomorrow.